Mr. Chancellor, sir, I request you.
Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Narayan Murthy ji, Chairman of the Board of Governors, Dr. Kiran Karnik, Director of the IIIT-Delhi, Dr. P.L. Jalote, members of the faculty, members of the governing board, and all scholars present in the hall. As Chancellor of this new university, I have great pleasure in attending the first annual convocation. And I would like to warmly congratulate Dr. Jalote and his team for the outstanding progress they have shown in the last couple of years, and also created a first-rate campus with all amenities here, including this beautiful lecture hall, and such many other facilities like hostels and so on. We have been in touch with him, and our effort has all along been to basically strengthen his hands in terms of providing regulatory approvals so that the building plans could be approved and could come up in time. Some time ago, I was invited by the Sisters of Charity to open a building which they were dedicating to the care of abandoned children and orphans. And they told me that between the time they conceived of the project and the time that everything was put up, it was a span of only 2 years. There was the head of the Catholic mission, I think Archbishop, also present. So I said we all look for miracles in Christianity. One miracle that if from conception you could raise a building in Delhi with people like the Municipal Corporation of Delhi there to put all kinds of roadblocks, it is by itself a miracle. I have been saying for a long time, we all say that India should be commanding now its place of respect on the high table in the global committee of nations. India has a large economy, probably the world's third largest now. It's growing rapidly. Lots of positives. But to command global respect, basically, I think this country needs, across the broad spectrum of activities, socio-economic, political, everything, a class of what I call gold standard professionals. And by which I mean people who have firstly complete commitment to ethical integrity. Secondly, very high domain knowledge in their chosen fields. And thirdly, a capacity for unsupervised hard work. So if there are people undertaking research or any other activity, or even a simple person who is asked to sweep the streets, once he knows what is his assigned duty, as an autonomous commitment to discharging the duty as a good professional, he will stand there and do that work even if it takes 16 hours of hard work. Nobody has to prod him, nobody has to whip him, to call him to account, no. That means you are a substandard performer. Yesterday in the evening, there was an inauguration of the All India Loka Yukta conference by our respected Rashtrapati ji at Vigyan Bhavan. And as you know, this is one of the institutions to look at misuse of public authority and possibly incidents of corruption and all in the public domain. And the whole issue was coming, they may be able to track down maybe 15, 20, 100, 1,000 instances which they can investigate and hold a particular person guilty. But this beginning of this whole process of taking and receiving something which is not your due as per your charter of appointment as a civil servant, as a police officer, or in any other field, is a breach of basic ethical integrity, where a person has to take that decision within his own conscience whether it is something he is prepared to undertake, to cross that Rubicon. My certainly fervent hope is that people who are passing out from such an excellent campus with first-rate faculty and very, very eminent students and scholars will conform to the standards of what I call gold standard professionals throughout their professional and personal lives. This whole field of IT is a very esoteric field, and I know a lot of emphasis is being given on innovation and research. And I would say that the presence of Dr. Narayan Murthy, who actually brought India into the global consciousness as a massive intellectual and potentially world leader in terms of intellectual activity, was Infosys under Dr. Narayan Murthy's leadership. We must give him a resounding applause. Suddenly the world realized that apart from simply being a country of philosophers and people in the deeper and upper realms of religious thought and contemplation, they were actually having the brain capacity to solve very esoteric and difficult complex problems in writing all kinds of software for various applications for system software and all. Infosys actually read that standard and then others followed. Even today, globally, if you go and they say, if you are in India or from India, you are likely to be a good candidate for getting into an IT-related job. I mean, this is the kind of global mindset change. Dr. Narayan Murthy actually led that standard and beacon in the entire globe. So everything, national honors which have been conferred, international honors, I think are more than fully deserved. And we are extremely happy that he is here to give the convocation address. I was reading perchance a book by a fellow called Chris Pavone. It's called The Expatriates, and it talks about a fellow called Dexter Moore, who is supposed to be an expert advising European banks how to secure their IT systems from possible hacking. But it turns out, as you progress in the novel, that since he is knowing how to evaluate these systems, first he has to try to hack into systems, see where is the gap, and then see what kind of layer of further complex software can be built to close the gap. But the story actually emerges that since he knew so much, he actually hacked a big bank and took $50 million away for his own account. So I'm saying when you learn a skill or a particular, very complex field of knowledge like this, you also have to maintain that ethical commitment all the time, so that you are actually, I feel anybody in an organization falls into either of two categories. One, a value adder, and the other is a value stripper. A value stripper, a fellow, for instance, in a very simplistic way, who buys dear and sells cheap. And a value adder is a person who buys cheap and sells dear, in a sense. I do hope that all of you will be great value adders to the organizations you serve. You will bring great credit to this wonderful institution. I am sure that as it expands to phase 2 of its development, many more amenities will become available. But as I was saying also at the B.R. Ambedkar University yesterday at their first annual convocation, a great institution actually is built up of what I see three main components. One, very good teaching faculty. Number 2, very high quality of students with high receptivity and a commitment to learning and to innovation. It needs a very, very serious mindset. We have umpteen stories of people getting to college just saying, somehow mark my attendance that I can qualify for writing the exam, and then just doing some peripheral work. These are not the kind of people who are going to contribute to research, to innovation, and basically raising India's profile in the world global economy in which we are all now, basically are working together. I do hope the students that are coming here, of course, will have very high standards of selectivity, will maintain that strong commitment to learning, to research, to innovation, and bring great credit to this institution and to our great